let's do this, shall we?
What do we have here?
We have here a Tuscan herb pork loin, tender pork loin, with a Yukon mash, some crostinis, and topped with a garnish of baby spinach sauteed in shallots and sun-dried tomatoes, and a mother sauce that is a base of red wine, flavored with shallots, garlic, tarragon, and beef stock.
It looks
Cheers.
Cheers, what's this?
And the pork should melt in your mouth if it didn't cool down already. Oh, and of course it's being paired with Bungalow Country Wines, our homemade cranberry wine.
There's a ball.
Yeah. That was a good pick.
This is delicious.
Okay.
Pork is just right.
Yeah. It can be pink,
Yeah.
but you just want to make sure it's definitely at 145. A lot of people get scared of it. You don't want it to be the center like veins of red pink, but if you marinate it in a brine, it'll never be white. It'll always be a pinkish color. That's one, it keeps the pork moist, and two, it's a way to have the pork when it's cooked still be slightly pinkish in hue, like an even pink. You know, not a center pink, but an even pink. If you don't do a brine, you want to pan sear the outside until it's called the Maillard effect. That's the caramelization of, you know, the fats and sugars and proteins to give it that golden brown. So you don't touch it, and then you flip it, get it golden brown on the sides, golden brown on the sides, golden brown. So you basically form a crust. Then you put it in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes per pound, or until you know it's about 145 on the inside. Let it rest. It'll still rise in temperature for about 5 minutes. It'll reach about the right perfect temperature, but it won't be all white, and it won't be dry, and it won't be too pink. This particular meal, it's not too hard, but you definitely have to do what they call mise en place, which is everything in its place. It's a French culinary term. Basically, if you're going to have minced onion, if you're going to be using minced this, chopped that, diced that, make sure that's all done ahead of time. Mise en place, everything in its place. That way you can just add to the pan when they're needed.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Gordon Ramsay, eat your heart out.
In the picture, This is in 360, correct?
Yeah.
So it's also looking out the window?
Yeah.
Who ever heard of going around with slight breeze and stuff like that on the sailboat with the motor, not sails?
He's probably too lazy.
I guess.
Or there's someone else in the family that doesn't know how to sail but knows
do.
how to use a motor.
There's a nice breeze out there.
Yeah, I know it. There is.
Not too much, it's not too little.
Right. It's a nice way to handle a sailboat.
Now, he could also be fishing and doesn't want to have to deal with... Because if you're out there with sails and you're fishing, yes, you can do it, but you can't just focus on... Because you can't technically just tie off the line. You know, you're going to get some shift, you know, and then next thing you know, you say, boom! You know, you kind of get... It's like driving a car. You got to focus on what you're doing. So if he's fishing, he's probably out there, lowered the sails so he can drift or have the motor just trawl. Or what is the word? Trawl.
Right.
So he can do his thing, and then he'll probably turn it on later. Which means he's most likely by himself. If there was someone else on the boat, they would handle the main line and everything, right? I'm assuming.
If they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Most people go out with this kinds of sailboats don't know what they're doing.
It's pretty easy to sail on a boat that's just a main and jib. You know what I mean? Once you start adding like a flying jib and secondary sails and stuff, then it gets a little complicated. But if you just have a main and a jib, it's pretty easy to sail.
Mm-hmm. Just pull a string and they all pop up.
There's
By themselves, yeah.
There's more, by the way. This is what you call fine dining.
Mm-hmm.
Oddly enough, all the ingredients to make this meal to feed 5 or 6 people. About $45. That's not bad considering this meal, and I'm not trying to sound big-headed, but this meal in a restaurant would easily be a $30 meal.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
25 to 30.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
So like 2 plates covers the cost of, at least a home cook. When you buy it in a restaurant, you're getting bulk.
Yeah.
But at least for home cooking, you're getting a $25 to $35 restaurant meal for 6 people for $45.
Yeah, but just think we have a chef right here, Guy.
Anyone can make it. It's just the sauce is a little hard. This meal, on a difficulty, on a scale of 1 to 10 for difficulty, a 5 or a 6. However, it gets bumped up to a 7, no, more like an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10, because timing is crucial on this. You don't want to serve cold pork. The sauce itself, you need to reduce, which takes quite a long time for wine and everything to reduce. And you want to add the butter the last minute once it's off the heat, and and you've plated. Then you add the butter the last minute, and you got to strain it. And you got the crostinis, and you've got the mash. So you got multiple components. They all need to be hot upon serving. And you can't let the sauce sit for too long because it'll break or get too thick. So it's timing. Timing this meal makes it hard. But the overall thing, like if you're just making the pork, or you're just making the mash, or you're just making the spinach, or individually the components, it's like a 4 or 5.
You know, I was doing that to add to your recipe channel
I don't know
or
if I'm
cooking
gonna start one.
channel, whatever.
So what is this called? Proper name?
I don't know.
We'll call that guy.
It's just a pork dish. I guess if I had to come up with a restaurant name for it, I would call it Tuscan herb pork loins served on a bed of Yukon mash with spinach and sun-dried
Oh,
tomatoes.
that's too long of a name, guy.
Well, that's how a restaurant would say it. You don't necessarily name it as in like, this is Guy Lapini. You know, you have to come up with an original thing in order to give it a name.
Yeah, but the only thing is that in the restaurants, okay, when they have an elegant dish like this, they give it a name,
No, they don't.
and then they
Only if that-
explain
Only if
what
that
it is.
only if that dish has a standard universal name. For instance, if it's like schnitzel, schnitzel is schnitzel. Chicken Milanese is chicken Milanese. So certain things have names, like a lasagna is, well, that's a lasagna. I call this a lasagna. But when you're just taking like basic element, like it's just pork loin. What on with the mash and the spinach and all of that, these are all little components, but it's no different than having pork loins with a side of mashed potatoes and a side of spinach. You've just played it in a way where it's a restaurant would literally probably call this Tuscan herb pork loin on a bed of Yukon mash. That's literally what they would call it.
Mountain mash.
Huh?
Mountain mash.
Mountain mash? Yeah. Yeah. But it's not the type of dish that's so unique where you give it a name.
Sure it is.
No, it's not. It's a very common. Everything on there you've had multiple times, except for the combination with the spinach and sun-dried tomato. You've had pork loins before. You've made mashed
Not like
potatoes
this,
before.
Not like that.
Sure, you have.
No, it hasn't.
Pork loin is pork loin. It's just a matter of how you season it.
Like, never had it like this.
Oh well. I'm just letting you know it's not a unique thing where it's like I can call it like Americana or something. You know, like
I
it's
would.
just. Now I did use a Tuscan herb blend, so it would be. So you basically name the dish as it's described. It's pork, but what kind of pork? It's Tuscan herb pork loin. What kind of mash? Is it Yukon? Is it russet? It's Yukon. And generally the restaurants, they don't say mashed potatoes. They just call it a mash. So, in essence, if it came to an actual name,
More
it would be...
reduction.
Huh?
More reduction.
Off the top of my head, I forget the name of the sauce, but that has a name. Not bolognese, because that's I forget off the top of my head what it's called, but it is based off of one of the mother sauces. But just to give the meal a simple name, it would just be Tuscan herb pork loin on Yukon mash. And then in the description they'd say, comes garnished with baby spinach sauteed with sun-dried tomatoes. Served with crostinis.
That's what the reduction.
Yeah, that would go under the so the name obviously would be Yukon herb pork loins on Yukon mash. Then the description would be Tuscan herbs dry rubbed pork loins served with I forget the name of the sauce. Yeah, the sauce would probably be the second thing that would be listed.
What are the 5 mother sauces?
Off the top of my head, I don't know, but you've got Espanola, you got Bolognese, you got Hollandaise, and you got Beurre Blanc. Bechamel. That's a good.
Another word, guy's creation.
It's not my creation.
Has to be, because the only thing is, you put it all together and stuff, it's your creation.
That's not how cooking works.
Sure it is.
No, it's not. It would be prepared in my style, for instance, but the meal, like you can't. No chef in their right mind would take credit for this meal. Not in a million years.
Why not? I thought it was great.
One, it's simplicity. It's a common thing. And two, because there's nothing about it that makes it guy. You know what I mean? Like, prepared by whatever chef, but this isn't, it's not a unique meal. That's what I'm trying to explain. This isn't like I came up with, like, I'm known for, I created a new kind of sauce, or I created a new type of, a new way of cooking pork. This is basic. No chef would take credit for it. They would just say it's pork rinds with mashed potatoes.
Oh, no, I would. Because it was unique. I never had it before.
The sommelier that chose the wine pairing did a good job.
Yeah, we gotta thank him.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. It's Mike, isn't it? Damn it. Good job, Mike. Do you mind?
No.
That's a good one.
Why would you mind?
And we didn't back sweeten it either.
Finish it.
Thank you. I complimented the chef.
There's more.
Nope. Oh, not right now. Wait, what do you got that's left over?
Everything.
Really?
Yeah.
It's on for 6.
If you want seconds, I'll show you how to plate it. That way, if you ever cook a pork, you can plate it the same way.
Sure, I'll give you the plate.
Come with me. Come with me. No, you're coming with me.
But I saw
I'm not
you
certain
right
if you come with me and I show you.
Who's watching you do the whole thing?
I was.
That's why I was throwing the cards all over the place.
Yeah, really.
The sauce is good. Like, take the crostinis. Like, if you get a side dish of the sauce and you dip the crostinis in it until it softens, so good because it's red wine based.
I would much rather have it nice and crispy like this.
I'm just saying it's red wine based, and so that sauce is good with like ciabatta.
This actually
bread.
pairs pretty well with this.
Oh, it pairs beautifully.
Yeah.
That is
I
absolutely
would say it's
beautiful.
about as good as the other one we're going to use.
Yeah,
We're going to open next.
it's not too sharp of a bite, and
No.
it's not overpowering of the meal. You get good flavor from the wine, but the second you take a bite, the wine doesn't overpower. The meal takes over. Yeah, that's a brilliant wine with this. Like, ever started my own restaurant and I served this dish, it would definitely say recommended to be paired with cranberry wine. Now, in order to put the garlic in with the baby spinach and sun-dried tomatoes, I had to put garlic in the sauce. That's kind of a French thing. Like, if there's like a lot of times, if there isn't a particular ingredient in the sauce, then you don't put that ingredient in the dish. Like, this is that type of dish. If there's no garlic in the sauce, you can put garlic in the side and in the mashed potatoes, but I wouldn't. If you're gonna put garlic in with the baby spinach, the sun-dried tomatoes, in with the Yukon mash, then when you're sauteing the shallots and the tarragon for the sauce, you can put a little garlic in. But if you don't put garlic in the sauce, then don't put garlic in the food. And you don't have to strain it either. But it's better. Because otherwise you have clumpy sauce. And you want it thick enough where it coats the spoon. If you dip the spoon in and you pull it out, coats it and it kind of just runs down. That way, when you put it on the plate,
Drizzle it.
it doesn't, like water go out. It stays kind of wherever you put it.
What thickens it? Just reducing it?
Normally cornstarch. If you need to, if you have time, just reduce. Or if you're working on an amount constraint. So if you have time, reduce it all the way down till it's the right thickness. But if you do that, you're going to have less sauce. If you want to have more sauce, but have it reach its viscosity quicker, then you put some cornstarch in some warm water, and you put that in the sauce, and you let it go through, and it thickens it up. If you don't have cornstarch, you can sprinkle some flour in, make sure you whisk it real good so there's no clumps, sprinkle a little more, but not a lot, like maybe for a saucepan that's like that big and that tall, and it's filled like maybe that high with sauce, at most, a tablespoon. I would just stick with like half a tablespoon. Let it, after you whisk it all in, let it simmer and
Let it do its thing.
reduce a little more and see what it does.
Right
You can always
now,
add more,
the
but you can never take
ideal
any
out
out.
on the ocean with like almost full throttle.
What, that guy?
No bounces, no bumps.
That guy out there?
Yeah.
How do you know it's not bouncy? You're not out there.
Oh, he's hauling. He's hauling.
He's hauling his egg.
It's a flat ocean.